Hi, my name's Tabitha, and I am an aspiring writer. I am almost 40 years old. I'll be 40 next month, and I am tired of putting off all the things I want to do in my life just because I feel like I'm not ready yet. And really, when are we ever ready for anything completely? So I'm just jumping in, and I'm going to do this thing, and I'm going to write a book. I've wanted to write a book my whole life, as long as I can remember. Reading was my very first hobby, and I devoured everything that I could get my hands on from the time I learned to read at age 4, my mom says. And I just remember reading everything I could get my hands on, rereading everything I could get my hands on. I've always loved reading. I love stories, and I've not actually really ever written anything. So I feel like that's the opposite of most of the people I watch here on Authortube. Almost everyone says, I've been writing stories since grade school, or since I can remember. I've always been writing stories, and I've always been making up stories. I've just never taken the time to write them down. Yeah, I'm just going to do this because I'm almost 40 years old. Don't be like me. Don't wait till you're 40 years old to do what you want to do. Don't put things off. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. So there's no reason for me to have procrastinated this long, aside from crippling perfectionism. I tend to want to do things so well that I never actually do them. So here's to new beginnings, I guess. Okay, so I'm just going to jump right in and do the questions from the Authortube Newbie Tag. And I forget the name of the person who put these questions out there, but I will link it in the description. So question number 1, what's your book's pitch? If you have multiple works, choose your favorite. Okay, so I currently have 3 projects that I am in the different planning stages of. But my favorite, and I guess my favorite, the one I'm furthest into planning and plotting, it's a young adult fantasy. At least for now, it's a young adult fantasy. The characters are like on the verge of not being in the young adult category, like they're 19, 18-ish, so older teens moving into adults. So I'm sure I'll have a better idea of where that will land once I get into writing it more, and see whether it feels more young adult or more just adult fantasy. Fantasy is probably my favorite genre to read, whether that's young adult, or really I can even enjoy a good middle grade fantasy. But yeah, so I don't actually have a pitch yet for any of my novels. I'm just going to try to come up with a pitch. I should have done this beforehand. So my main character, Aurora, is This sounds so silly. I've never said this stuff out loud except to my daughters. Okay, so from this you're probably getting a glimpse at how little work I have actually done on this novel. I have so many ideas and plot points and some scenes, and I love the characters in this story. They are all alive in my mind already, which I'm sure everyone out there can relate to. The short of it is, in this world, the stars are basically watching over the world, and they are the ones that provide the magic. It's where all the magic in this world comes from. The stars impart their powers to humans. The stars are going out. They're blinking out and going out, and they're gone. And those people that had been bound with those stars die. So there's been a rash of these deaths, and the sky is getting darker, and stars are just disappearing, and nobody knows why, as far as Aurora knows. And some crazy things happen, and Aurora feels betrayed by people she trusted, and she has to decide who to trust. And it's a hard decision for her because she believes so strongly in the kingdom's beliefs, and she really wants them to be true so badly. But then her closest friend has done something that has shocked everyone, and she kind of holds his fate in her hands, and she has to decide whether she trusts him or if she trusts this kingdom that she believes so much in, and the beliefs that they have. And anyways, so that was a really, really bad pitch, and I may not even leave any of that in here. But I know better now what my book's about. I will say, I have not actually written on this book since probably November. And that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this channel, because I want to write it. I love these characters. I love the story. I love the world that it's set in. And I really just want to get it down. So yeah. Question number 2, if you were a book, how would you pitch yourself? Well, based on that last question and how bad I am at pitching things, I'm just going to tell you a few things about myself and not try to pitch myself as a book. So like I said at the beginning, I am turning 40 years old next month, and I am this month celebrating my 20th anniversary with my husband. So that's pretty crazy. And I have 7 children, and the oldest just got married this past winter, and it's been a crazy. That was kind of like I had just started writing really in November. Basically, is all the writing I've ever done on this, and my daughter decided that they were going to move their wedding up into February. So kind of writing got thrown out the window, and everything went into getting ready for the wedding. She wanted me to make her wedding dress, and that took up basically all my creative energy. And I didn't even think about writing again until basically this summer, because I thought about it. Obviously, I kept writing down notes, and I've started 2 other projects since then, just like getting down the ideas so I don't forget them. I'm actually not sure which one I'm going to write first. We'll see. Anyways, I have 2 teenage daughters. I have, after the first one. So anyways, the oldest got married. The next 2, I have teenage daughters. I have a 10-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. And then I have a 3-year-old that will be 4 next month. And I have a 1-year-old. So that is still nursing. So I have quite a range of things going on in my life. I also do photography. Primarily now a wedding photographer. I love being at weddings, and I love photography. I don't love marketing myself at all. So I've scaled back to just second shooting this year, aside from I did a few friends' weddings and stuff. So I'm hoping to phase out of even really doing a lot of weddings next year at all. So we'll see how it goes. I hate being gone every weekend. It's very, my husband works all week long, so the weekends are really the only times we have to like go do things or even just to chill at home. So yeah, as much as I enjoy it, it's just not a great fit for my life right now. So anyway, writing, like I said, I can do from home. My kids will probably barge in at times, and I probably won't have a lot of quiet. You can probably hear them in the background. I tend to really enjoy anything artistic. Or, I just enjoy doing pretty much anything. I love sports. I love being active. I love being out in the outdoors, hiking. I love, doing like gardening and farming and baking and art. And I have a lot of hobbies. I love reading, obviously, and I love knitting and sewing, and once created a yarn dyeing business with my sister, and we had great fun with that, and our husbands got to quit their jobs and came and worked for us, and that was just like a huge, till we both ended up pregnant again. And I'm very sick when I'm pregnant, and so just couldn't carry on as like our livelihood. Anyways, good times, and I've just had a lot of things like that that I've done in my life, and so I don't regret not having written my novel yet, but I'm ready to step into that role and learn what I need to learn and do what I need to do and get it done, write a book. I guess that's the pitch about me. So the next question, number 3, is what do you usually write? I will say I've only started writing, actually writing 2 novels. One is a young adult contemporary romance, and the other is a potentially young adult fantasy. So those are some of my favorite things to read. I'm completely a mood reader, right? Like I stopped reading for years when my kids were younger, and just recently my teenage daughters have really gotten into reading, and that's been so fun for me, and they think it's so cool that I want to write a book, and both of them also want to write books, and it's just something we've been having a lot of fun with together. So when my daughter moved out, the oldest moved out, we took her bedroom and we turned it into this little reading room. We have some bookshelves, and we just chill in here and read and write, and that's the plan anyway. So we just got to finish this week, so that's why I'm filming this now, I guess. Okay, question number, I can move this so I can see the numbers. Question number 4. What's something you will never write? Okay, so I probably will never write horror. It's not something I'm into. It's not like I'm scared of it. I really don't like it. I feel like there's enough depressing and sad things to read about that horror is just, I don't want to think about that stuff. I don't know. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind writing pretty much anything else. Yeah, I'll read pretty much anything else. I don't really read horror either, or watch horror movies. It's not fun for me. I don't know. Kind of just gives me the ick. Question number 5. What's your goal for starting an Authortube channel? I have a lot of goals concerning this channel, and or I guess a lot of things I would like to happen, but the main one is really, I just need something to be accountable to, and I like a challenge, and like knowing that I'm supposed to, I don't know. This kind of thing usually is what motivates me. Just like anybody else, right, doing this, like really, why do this? There's so many people out there. It's not like I think I'm going to get famous, or that it's going to make my book a bestseller or anything like that, or that I'm going to make tons of money off of it. I have no like goals as far as that's concerned. I would like to have a good community around the writing. I know one person in real life or I used to know one person in real life that I know writes books now, but we were never close. We were just acquaintances. And anyways, she honestly though, she's very young. I think she's probably 20, which is very young. She's self-published several books, and I did not know about self-publishing until she did that. My plans for writing when I was younger were literally just to write it, just to have it. And the fact that you can now, actually get that bound into a book, or self-publish, or, whatever, that sounds amazing to me. I was so encouraged by that. And to see this girl that I knew she was so shy. She barely even talked, and she writes. When I saw that, I started like looking into what is self-publishing, and like, hey, I could write a book. I've always wanted to write a book, and not that I was like looking down on her at all, because she was a very sweet girl, but like, if she could do it, I could do it, right? Why not? So yeah, the main goal for me is just accountability and motivation to get the writing done. I would love to have a community. The community aspect of it is really, really probably what I want. Not so much a goal, but like what I kind of crave, that like other authors, I would eventually love to find once I know more about, my process and like what my writing style is going to be, I would love to find a critique partner, and, just like someone like an accountability partner, to just, be there for each other for that. But I feel like it's so important to like have the right one. So that's not something I'm looking for like currently, but in the future, I would love to get that out of this. So yeah, that's kind of like question number 5 and question number 6 joined together. Like, question number 6 is what made you want to start writing? And really, again, I've had stories in my mind my whole life, like making up characters, making up situations, and basically just having this character in my mind for years at a time or whatever. So I'm not new to that aspect of it, but just like writing it down. That's what I'm going to make myself do, is write it down. And one day it's going to be a book, and I'm going to hold it in my hands, and my kids are going to be able to read it. And yeah, at that point, it's like, doesn't even matter if anyone else reads it. I would love them to, but like, you know what I'm saying. Okay, what's your publishing path? Who knows, right? Like, I'm just starting this out. I don't even know what my writing is going to be like. And I can't say like whether it'll be a marketable book or if it'll be just like, my heart book. just from what you learn about the publishing industry on, other people's channels and stuff like that is, is so subjective, and they're so concerned, obviously, understandably, about, what's marketable. And I honestly don't know if that would be a good fit for me. I love the idea of being able to, have complete control over the release of my book, timing, and, like visually, I'm very into book covers. Like, for me, it's definitely, the book cover makes a big difference for me. So I will probably do indie publishing if I feel very confident in my book when it's done. After many rounds of revision, I may put it on submission unless I'm in a hurry to get it out. And I don't know what I'm going to feel like, in a year or two concerning that. So we'll just see. I'm not opposed to either. And indie publishing seems like a lot of fun to me, although I know also can be quite expensive. So it really depends. So this could just be the algorithm not showing me other people, almost 40, in their 40s, moms of several children. I so envy sometimes the people who just have hours and hours and hours a day to where they can just decide what they want to do, and they can write, and they can go to cafes, and they can, do all that fun stuff. They can go to writing retreats. That's just not the stage of life I'm in. So maybe just a different perspective, and maybe be encouraging to other moms who are in a similar position to mine, where there's just, I will say, like, some moms get nap time. My kids do not nap regularly, and maybe that's a failing on my part. Like, as far as like, my kids are so clingy, and partly I struggle with it, but partly I love it. I love that my baby wants to nap on me, and that my 3 almost 4-year-old still wants me to hold her all the time. And I'm just kind of like accepting that, and I do love it. And I don't, my kids always, they grow up to be perfect, like well-adjusted. They don't need me to hold them all the time, and they're very independent. And I feel like I'm lucky to be at this age and still have little ones that want me all the time. And okay, I keep sounding like I'm like old. I don't feel old. I feel great. I really don't feel any different than I did when I was 20. But you know what that means? Probably I won't feel any different when I'm 60. Physically, maybe I will, but mentally, hopefully not. And I don't want to be 60 and be like, why didn't I just start writing when I was 40? So I'm hoping that I can be at least encouraging to those who are maybe afraid that it's too late, or I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, so I don't know that I can bring anything new to Authortube, but I would really like to make some connections with others. If you're in a similar situation, please, if you're not, like, tell me what your situation is. Like, when do you have time to write? How do you find the time? How do you find the motivation? I'd love to hear what works for other people. I honestly don't know how this is going to fit into my life. So at this point, going into it, I would like to make a weekly, possibly bi-weekly video, entailing writing blogs basically, and maybe writing sprints at some point if I can ever find the time. I love doing writing sprints with other people, joining in their channels, and that's fun for me. Especially, I don't know, I like when they're surprise ones. We're like going live with writing sprints. It makes me so excited. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, let's do it. And usually I just watch and think about my book. I really don't do any writing because, anyways, no excuses anymore. That's what I'm telling myself. Okay. So yeah, I don't actually know where it'll go from here. I'm not a writing expert, so I will not be able to do the really informative videos I would consider maybe doing like, okay, here, I've got a stack of books, right? Like writing books. Maybe if I find something that works well, in one of them, to, share it and just give a rundown or whatever. Or if I have a book that does not help, I could do that maybe, but mostly I'm just making this channel for myself. And if other people want to follow along, that's great. That would make me so happy. But even if they don't, I'm hoping to just keep making these videos and hope that no one I know finds them and is like, oh wow, this is like a year old and she has 2 views. Anyway, hopefully I can stay semi-anonymous there. Number 9, what's your biggest writing struggle? Okay, so my biggest writing struggle is just making myself do it. Like, just do it. I have this problem with most things in my life, and it's something I've struggled with literally my whole life. To just make myself do the things I want to do. I don't know why that's so hard for me. I think about it all the time. Like, my brain, I have ADHD, my brain is literally all the time thinking about the things I want to do, right? And I just can't seem to make myself do them because I'm always waiting for it to feel like the right time. And again, when's the right time? It's now, right? It's just got to be now. Okay. Talking to myself there, pep talk. So yeah, that's my biggest writing struggle. And I'm sure I will have a lot more struggles once I actually get into the actual writing. Like, I don't know, dialogue's probably hard. I feel like that's really difficult, to sound natural. When I'm like, have my characters playing in my head, it's hard for me to decide what they're going to say. So I feel like I'm going to struggle with dialogue to some extent. So if anybody has tips on dialogue or like resources or books or anything that really helped you write natural dialogue, please drop them down below. Okay. What's your best writing skill? I feel like I'm good at coming up with ideas. And I also feel like I'm really good at finding plot holes, at least in other people's work. So I'm hoping that translates to writing, and hopefully I'll be able to have a tight plot that doesn't have a lot of holes. Something I feel that I may have a problem with is writing endings. I feel like I'm not good at coming up with endings. So that's something I'm going to have to rely a lot on craft books and stuff like that to teach me, because endings is just in general, I don't like endings. So I don't like to think about them. I don't like to, my favorite shows, a lot of my favorite shows like that I was like, obsessed with, I never finished them. I don't know. I think I have a problem. Choose between questions 11 and 12. I have not been on YouTube for a while. So number 12, if you are new to Authortube, what is your biggest Authortube question? Let's see. I don't know. What's my biggest Authortube question? I guess just when you're new, how do you join the community? Like, I know I'm putting this video out there, right? And I love to watch these videos. I guess just like, how do you go from that to actually having a community and not just feel like you're talking to yourself? So I guess that's my biggest question. Okay. Are you looking for any new channels to follow, betas, critique partners, or other types of writer buddies? Yes, I am. I already said all that earlier, though. I'm not currently looking for, I guess if the right person came along, but no, I'm not. I want a critique partner. That's what I really want. I want someone, an accountability partner. I feel like that's maybe what I want the most. Obviously, eventually I'll want beta readers and stuff like that. But I need some writer buddies. And I feel like, okay, I'm a super shy introvert, and I feel like I have a lot of friends that I've had for a long time, but even then I really have a hard time putting myself out there even with them, so like, none of my friends in real life know that I'm writing a book. My sister knows, and my daughters know. That's basically it. Well, my husband, but like, I'm just not comfortable, and I would like to get better at that. So yeah, I would really like to get a community. I feel like for now it's going to be me just like encouraging other people, right? Like, go on other people's channels and make sure I'm commenting and like, being what I want for them, So I feel like that's where you got to start. So yeah, if you have any tips or tricks or, advice, or if you just want to tell me how crazy I am, but yeah, leave comments down in the description. Hopefully soon I will have a better pitch for my books. Doing this made me realize that I really want to have that. So yeah, I'm sorry. This was very rambly, and it's just a first video, and I've got to get the first one out of there eventually. The first ones are going to be terrible, and like, hopefully the next one will be less terrible. And yeah, I am excited about this journey, and I'm excited about having my book in my hands at the end of it. That's really what's keeping me going. And the fact that my daughters, I want them to see me doing a big thing. You know, I want them to know that they can do big things and that it doesn't have to be super hard, as far as like, do it one step at a time. And, you know, so I'm doing it for me and I'm doing it for them. And my plan, now that I've started this writing journey, is to make some progress on my books. And honestly, I'm not sure which one I want to write first. I love my young adult fantasy story so much, and I feel like maybe my first book shouldn't be a fantasy. Maybe it should just be a book to get like the process down and like no pressure, right? I really want to do the world justice, and I don't want to wait a long time to write it, but I do want to maybe have another book down before that. So I'll probably focus on the book I'm calling Sweet Dreams right now. So that's probably the one that I will write first. I have a good idea of like the characters, and like honestly, I feel like there's potential there for a couple of like related sequels. So not necessarily the same people, but like they're friends, and like I could probably get 3 or 4 books out of it. I have so much faith in myself. I'm like planning, you know, I've got like 7 books in the works. Anyway, so yeah, next video, I'm planning to work on outlining my book. I feel like that's what's holding me back from actually doing it. So I want to finish reading this book, 7-Figure Fiction. I'm sure most of you have heard about this book or read it, but it's just a quick little book about how to use universal fantasy to make your book like really good, you know, as far as like what people want to read, even if it's not like anything profound or anything like that. So I just want to get through that. I'm like probably 65% of the way through that little book. So I want to get through that. And then I've read most of, I would show you the front, but my daughter ripped the cover off. Anyway, Save the Cat Writes a Young Adult Novel. And I definitely find this very helpful. And I've read a good chunk of it, but I want to sit down and go through. That's probably what I'll be doing the next video, going through this with my book and just getting it written down. So once I have a plan, I feel like I can just write it, you know, and hopefully that's true. And also I have several of these, what are they called? Writers, helping writers, you know. So I have 4 or 5 of these on different subjects, and this one, so this is something I really like in books, is when the setting like comes alive to me. So like I like the formulaic like mystery romance type, like where there's like a slow burn romance and the main character is like solving mysteries in the town, and then like every book they get closer to their love interest, but then sometimes something happens and they get, anyways. The thing I love about those books is the setting and like the other characters in that settings. And I'm hoping that these books can help me do that. So yeah, my young adult contemporary romance, I really want to focus on creating an enjoyable world where, you know, it's not just the main characters that are interesting, but that the setting is interesting, and we'll see. I'm excited about this, and I hope that I can actually learn to make videos and not suck. So there's that. Again, my name is Tabitha, and I would love to make contact with people and like hear from you. Like what are your thoughts about writing right now? What's holding you back? Are you thinking about starting an Authortube channel? Because I think you should. You know, I was like skeptical about starting a channel for a while there. The first Authortuber that I found last year, I was like, you know, maybe I'll do NaNoWriMo, which ended up getting canceled, of course, the year I decided to finally do it. Anyways, last summer, I was just like looking and preparing to do NaNoWriMo. And I found Brielle Writes, which I feel like so many of us, like she's like the person, right? Like she's so cool and she's so cute, and, you know, she's so interesting to watch, and she has such like a cute, like she's just got the vibes, you know, good vibes, you know, and stuff like that. So I feel like I was so intimidated by her videos. Like, I can't do that. Like, I don't have anything interesting to show, or like, I don't live in a cool like apartment. And have all this free time on my hands. I can't go to cute little cafes. I have one cafe that's like 20 minutes away from me. I live kind of in the country and far away from, not far away, but far enough away that it's inconvenient when you have kids at home. So I don't want to take them all to a cafe and try to write. That sounds like my worst nightmare. So yeah, but I feel like I was so intimidated by her and just be like, and not only that, but just like feeling like, oh, well, she's doing it. I guess I can't do it. I don't know. She obviously is not like, she's such a sweet person. And if you've watched her channel, which I'm sure you have, if you're watching this, that, like, she's not like trying to make anyone feel like that. She's so encouraging and like sweet and stuff like that. But, it was definitely, I'm not cool like that, So I don't know. If you're thinking about starting an Authortube channel, I feel like you should just go for it. And if you do, please comment on here and let me know so I can check your video out. And if you want to see this like 40-year-old mom actually achieve one of her life goals, then, follow along, subscribe, and I'll try to hopefully be an encouragement and show you that it's not ever too late. So, all right. Thanks for joining me, guys. And if you made it through this, you are a saint. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe. That's what we say, right? And I will see you all next time. Bye.